annual board meeting for Interstate Community School District. We'll start with a roll call. Gibson,
Here.
Bryant,
Here.
Buckland,
Here.
Hutton,
Here.
Strange.
Here.
And we've already done the Pledge of Allegiance and reviewed the mission, district, and board goals in the prior meeting. So we'll go ahead and move on to the oath of office for the new members. So Tom and Monica, if you can please stand and raise your right hands. Do you solemnly swear that you will support the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of the State of Iowa, and that you will faithfully and impartially, to the best of your ability, discharge the duties as director to the Board of Education in the Interstate 35 Community School District, now and hereafter required by law?
I do.
Thank you. And next is the election of board president and the oath of office for the board president. So right now I will open for nominations for the I-35 Board of Director president, and I'll take that in the form of a motion.
Madam Secretary, while I've enjoyed my time as president, I think it would be fantastic to have an educator leading us going forward. So I would like to make a motion to nominate Jessica Buckland as president.
I will second that motion.
Are there any other nominations? All right, seeing that there are no other nominations, the motion is to nominate Jessica Buckland for the office of president. So I will take your vote with a roll call vote. Gibson,
Yes.
Bryant,
Yes.
Buckland,
Yes.
you're accepting it. Hutton,
Yes.
Strange.
Yes.
All right, so Jessica, I'll have you stand and raise your right hand. Do you solemnly swear that you will support the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of Iowa, of the State of Iowa, and that you will faithfully and impartially, to the best of your ability, discharge the duties of office of president of the Board of Directors in the Interstate 35 Community School District, now and hereafter required by law? Yes. Thank you. And at this time, I'll hand the meeting over to you, but we will assist you through.
All right, well, bear with me for the love, okay. So now we need to attend to electing a vice president and get the vote, or oath of office put in. So I will open it for nominations for the vice president of the I-35 Board of Directors.
Madam President, I would like to nominate Dan Hutton as vice president.
Okay. We have a nomination for Dan Hutton. Do I have a second?
I'll second the motion.
Are there any other nominations at this time? I take that as a no. None. Oh, April, can you do a roll call?
Gibson,
Yes.
Bryant,
Yes.
Buckland,
Yes.
Hutton,
Yes.
Strange.
Yes.
Okay. I do the oath? Oh,
Unless you want, do you want me to just do
You
it?
can ask the secretary to do the oath if you'd like.
April, can you do the oath, please?
Dan, please stand and raise your right hand. Do you solemnly swear that you will support the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of the State of Iowa, and that you will faithfully and impartially, to the best of your ability, discharge the duties of the office of Vice President of the Board of Directors in the Interstate 35 Community School District as now and hereafter required by law? I do. Thank you.
Okay, and now we need to make an appointment for board secretary, treasurer, and ensure the oath of office. So I will take a motion.
Madam President, I motion to appoint April Hughes as the I-35 Board Secretary and Treasurer.
April Hughes has been motioned. Is there another?
I'll make a second.
Second. It has been seconded. Okay, properly moved and seconded. All those in favor?
Aye.
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 Oh, opposed? Good to go. All right, so now April, if you'd stand. Do I have to stand for this? Okay. All right. Do you solemnly swear that you will support the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of the State of Iowa, and that you will faithfully and impartially, to the best of your ability, discharge the duties of Secretary and Treasurer of the Board of Directors in the Interstate 35 Community School District as now and hereafter required by law?
I do.
All right, and then now is there any discussion on the agenda? None. I would take a motion to approve the agenda as presented.
I'll make a motion to approve the agenda as presented.
The agenda has been properly motioned. Do I have a second?
I'll second it.
All those, it's been properly moved and seconded. All those in favor?
Aye.
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 All those opposed? Okay. All right, now we need to discuss and approve committee representation. So we need to motion to appoint specific board members for each. All right, so we have the Warren County Conference Board. Currently, Monica is serving on that. I would open for appointment for the discussion.
And you can do them all at once.
Okay.
And then
We
See
can
if we
all,
wanna make
we can all
finance
talk
in one
about.
motion.
Okay.
So I just.
Let's just go
them all.
through the list. What do you have?
I would actually like, we're in discussion, right?
Yes,
You read first on this.
yes, we are in discussion, and we can discuss and I
Okay.
think figure out who's going to take what.
So what I
and
would
then a
like to
large
do
motion at the end.
Is make a motion that Tom Bryant replace where Mrs. Keller was, and we approve all of them as is with him replacing her where they're at.
Director Hutton, I actually would like to discuss that a little bit more. I have some interest in joining the Facilities Committee, to be on that with you, unless Tom has a strong desire to be on that. That's something I'd like to join, so.
Fine.
Outside that, I am okay with your recommendation. Tom, do you have any questions on any of those? I know those are new to that.
No, I do not.
Do we need two for the insurance committee?
Oh, sorry, go ahead.
April, do we need two for the insurance committee?
Yes, is
So-
Tom taking that one then?
Tom, would you like to sit on the insurance?
Clark County.
It would be with Dan, fair warning.
Insurance committee, you'll be with me, it's fine. Yes.
Okay.
Yes, I will.
So the proper form, Dan, would be for you to withdraw your motion and then redo it.
Okay, so I'd like to withdraw my motion and re-motion that we approve replacing Keller with Brandt on everything but the Facilities Committee. We will replace her with Gibson.
Sorry. All right, so it's been properly moved. A motion, do I have a second?
I'll second that.
It's been properly moved and seconded. All those in favor signified by aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay. All right, now we need to discuss and approve the superintendent's recommendations for annual designations. Motion to designate the following individuals and organizations to their respective positions. You want me to read through all these? Yes? Okay. School Depository Recommendation, Union State Bank, and Iowa School Joint Investment Trust. Union State Bank Truro with a maximum depository amount of $10 million, and the ISJIT a maximum depository amount of 10 million. Legal counsel recommendation of Allers and Cooney. School insurance recommendation is EMC. Official district publication recommendation is the Madisonian. Regular board meeting date and time recommendation is the fourth Monday of each month at 6 o'clock. Level 1 and Level 2 investigators, our Level 1 recommendation would be Tim McKinney and Angela Steinlage. Level 2, Madison County Sheriff. ADA and 504 coordinator, we would recommend Stephanie Good. Equity coordinator, recommend Adam Beckel. Reconsideration committee, the current committee members are Heather Jelsma, Emily Hanna, Brayton Weber, Jill McDonald, Tanya Donahue, Abby Meese, and Remington Hutton. Is there a discussion on any of these?
Okay, so I do have a little bit of a question. Can I motion to approve 1 through 8, and then we can have a discussion on 9 and approve it afterwards? Okay, so I would like to motion that we approve 1 through 8 as is, with discussion on number 9 immediately following this approval, or...
All right, I have a motion to approve 1 through 8 and have a conversation on 9. Do I have a second?
I'll second that.
It has been motioned and seconded. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay. So we'll open this number 9 up, the recommendation committee for discussion.
So, we've had people express interest. We've had 3 express interest with being on this. My 2 cents on that is we either leave it the way it is and not touch it, or the first 2 people, and I know they reach out to everybody on the board because I think they copied everybody when they were trying to get on it. We first come, first serve would be my opinion, but obviously that's up for discussion.
Yeah, I think there's a conversation, my mic seems really loud, yeah. A conversation pertains to, the makeup of this committee and whether or not, it's appropriate that homeschool people are on this committee. And I went back and forth and thought about this on both sides of it. Obviously, everybody in our community, regardless of they're homeschooled or not, have a stake and interested in the next generation and our kids, but at the same time, I can understand the curriculum that's going through this school, making sure parents are there, or that the kids are there and the parents that are on the committee, their kids are going through that as well. So I would say from a district perspective, having people on this that, their kids are taking that curriculum, I guess slightly outweighs that for me. In particular, I think we're talking about current committee members, Emily Hanna and Abby Meese, if I'm not mistaken, were the homeschool. And I know both those individuals express interest to continue serving on there, but would not have a concern and understood that, should we make a decision not to, they're fine with that as well. So I would agree with Director Hutton's recommendation that if we do replace, we do it first come, first serve. And I think if we make a motion, we'd have to know those names and the order at which those requests came in. So it was Michael Anderson, I'm forgetting this other lady's name, Heather Beener, I believe, and Kelsey Ritchie, and they came in that order of requests to serve on this. And I would note that Kelsey Ritchie does currently serve on the SIAC committee, but expressed interest that if she could do either, she would prefer this one. So I did want to pass that on to the board. So I don't know if there's any other thoughts on this from any other members.
I know we had discussed before, Chad, we don't have a policy in place of how long, people serve on a committee before we open it up for new, replace membership or whatever.
No, the policy does not state the length of the term, I guess you
Okay.
could call it, no.
Okay.
what it does state is it has to be annually approved by the board.
Okay.
So,
All right, and I think the only thing I'd bring up too then is there's one other person on the list who doesn't have a child in the school, if we're looking at that as a basis of if they should serve or not. I don't believe Remington does.
Not yet.
So, just a thought and keep in consideration when thinking about this.
Yeah, that's a good call out. I didn't even think about that. Yep, so.
So I'm going to make a motion just to move things along. My motion would be just leave it alone. If it isn't broke, don't fix it, has always been my motto. I believe that if anybody in our district can run for an office sitting up here, I think that having different points of view on committees is great. And that would absolutely be a different point of view. I'm sure someone could argue with me that they homeschool their children. I get that. But yeah, I would motion that we just leave it the way it is.
All right, it has been motioned to leave the reconsideration committee as is. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
It has been properly motioned and seconded. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay. We have reached the open forum portion of the meeting. Residents, students, parents, or guardians, and staff members of the district may address the board about relevant topics. Those who wish to speak must sign up at the beginning of the meeting. Speakers' participation is limited to 5 minutes per meeting. We ask speakers to remember that Iowa law prohibits the board from discussing specific employees or students or their performance.
There have been no submissions.
All right, there have been no submissions, so we will move on to the student representative report.
So the boys wrestling team have started their daily practices. They have launched their peak performance program for wrestlers in grades 3rd through 12th, which is led by Bobby Reese, who works regularly with elite athletes, including Olympic medalists and other professional athletes. They have began their meetings with their nutritionist, Cara, who works with the Toronto Blue Jays. She provides wrestlers with valuable nutritional guidance to help athletes stay healthy. They are starting their wrestling mindset training. This is a year-long course where the teams meet with a mental mindset coach to prepare for the season. Currently, the team is ranked number 11 in Class 1A. Their goal is to qualify for the state duels and finish as a top 4 team. The girls' wrestling team have 6 girls on the high school team and 6 on the middle school team. Their goal is to improve upon last year's records and qualify girls for the state tournament. Dance is currently preparing for their state dance competition that will be held on October 4th. They will perform at Casey Center. They are working on a jazz routine to bring to competition. They will dance to Walk Like an Egyptian and receive an academic achievement award for their combined team GPA of 3.714. This is the 50th anniversary of the Iowa State Dance Team Competition, and they are hosting a special performance with featured dancers of ISDTA, where kids grades 4th through 7th, who are siblings to high school dancers, children of coaches, etc., get to perform in a large group in the evening. Tiffany Bortel's daughters, Chloe and Quinn, will be participating. Sydney Gallivan and Emma Phillips have made the All-Iowa Honor Dance Team and will be performing at the Girls State Basketball Tournament in March. Lindley Fields was also chosen as an alternate and will have a good chance of also participating. After state, they will work on routines to perform at basketball games, end-of-season show on February 27th, where they will perform the annual co-ed routine, preschool through 4th grade dance clinic. And they are hoping to receive a Division I rating at state competition and run for a trophy. The FFA chapter successfully completed its annual fruit sales fundraiser. They have extended their sincere appreciation to the community for their support. They broke another record that was previously set last year. Their FFA chapter partnered with Iowa Corn to provide 75 meals to local farmers during the harvest season as a way to show their appreciation. Members are preparing for the trip to the National Western Stock Show in Denver, Colorado. FCCLA has members running for star events to take to state and hopefully nationals. They have members turning in their peer education projects and working on their Iowa events for state competition. Their goal is to host a Toys for Tots project during the Christmas season, host a blood drive at the school, and volunteer for the Kids Shop Christmas store at the Talk Shop in St. Charles. The band has had 2 students participate in the South Central Iowa Bandmasters Association Conference Honor Band. Blake Scrivener earned first chair and was selected to move on to the All-Iowa 8th grade honor band. 11 students from 7th through 12th grade participated in the WCAC Conference Honor Band in Ogden. They have been working on their winter concert music and will soon be performing some pep band tunes at the boys and girls varsity basketball games. Their goal is to get students prepared for the solo and ensemble contest and start the recruitment process for students thinking about joining 5th grade band next year. The choir is preparing for their winter concerts. The 6th grade choir will perform with the 5th and 6th grade band on December 8th. 7th, 8th, and high school choir will join the 7th through 12th grade bands on December 11th. 21 7th through 12th grade choir students attended the WCAC Honor Choir for their athletic conference, which is a record number of students in comparison to previous years. The high school concert choir partnered with the band to perform a choral arrangement of My Country 'Tis of Thee and a combined band and choir arrangement of America the Beautiful to honor our veterans during the Veterans Day Assembly. They are currently planning their annual caroling day to sing for residents at a senior living homes in Norwalk and West Des Moines. They are hoping to send 4 student leaders from the high school choir to Sioux City for the Morningside Vocal Arts Festival, where they will join 250 other students from across Iowa, Nebraska, and South Dakota in rehearsing music with a live composer, taking master classes about voice singing, and learning from college faculty. The National Honor Society is getting ready for the holiday season by signing up to volunteer to make the season more joyful. Their goal is to be more involved in the community and to support families. They want to get the student body more involved and show them more support by creating fun activities such as Ironman volleyball, dress-up days, and more. Student Council has helped sponsor Thanksgiving meals for those in our community. They hope to continue to inspire the student body to get involved with activities and build school spirit. They create fun celebrations around the holidays and breaks, such as dress-up days or handing out cookies around winter break. And currently, the Junior Prom Committee and Mrs. Vidraska are currently planning the 2026 prom.
Well, thank you very much. Everyone is busy, but it sounds like a lot is going on and a lot of really great accomplishments. So we appreciate the rundown. Thank you so much. All right. We are moving on to the administrator reports. First up is Ms. Woods. Did anyone have any questions or discussion on this?
Yeah, I just wanted to say, reading through the math stuff that you guys do, one of the things I love about your updates is your team's constant, I guess, retrospective of, hey, this is working, it's going good, but how can we do better? And coming up with different ideas and trialing and erring, or trial, error, learn, do it over again, and it shows in the results that you guys are driving. So I'm excited about this pilot. I would, just express our gratefulness to your team for continuing to try different things and continuing to take different approaches and going and spending time at another school and learning how they're doing things and figuring out how to adapt it for us. So that was exciting. And also I just want to say you barely touched it, but it's a big thing where you talked about your growth in 5% in the proficiency from reading when you went from 61% to 66. That doesn't happen by accident, right? That's as a result of those, very things that you're doing. And again, thank you guys for all the work, and thank your team for all the work that they're doing in that. So, I had.
Yeah, I would second what Nathan had to say, and the vocabulary goal is going fantastic. I know I work with James often to get those. After we got the first list, the second one's coming much smoother, so it's working. So yes, thank you with that. And I'm a bit jealous that you guys have a conference attendance of 96%. That's incredibly impressive. If you could share with us secondary people on how we can get people to want to come and see us, that would be great. But no, that's phenomenal. So congratulations on that. Anyone else? Okay, we will move on to Mr. Beckel. He submitted his report. Is there any discussion or questions?
I just wanted to say thank you for you and your team in putting on the Career Day. It was amazing. I got to participate in that. I was definitely told my presentation was better than Dan's. So I really enjoyed meeting with the kids. I got to, talk to them about my career of ethical hacking and got to see them excited about that. And then when I was leaving, just hearing the kids talking in the hallways about the different, rooms that they went to and talked, learned from. And Hunter come home and is asking me for Bondo because he went to an automotive class and they taught him how to fix dents, and now he wants to fix all the dents in the car. So I think that was just a fantastic day to, get kids engaged in experience and awareness of the different career fields. I know that took a lot of coordination from your team, so thank you for doing that.
I'll second a lot of what he said, besides they liked his better than mine. I will say thanks for having me. It was amazing to see just how energetic and receptive the students were.
Yeah, I was surprised to be asked, to be honest. I didn't know if you couldn't find a teacher or not, but it was fun. The kids were very prepared and engaged in discussion. I was thoroughly impressed. So, yeah, you guys ran a really great thing. And is this Neon Party, was this just their fall dance? Okay, nice. I'd wondered when I drove by, there was like lights everywhere, and you could see parents in the parking lot trying to sneak pictures of them in there. It was, yeah, that was nice. So, all right, anyone else? All right, and we will go on to the superintendent report.
Yeah, so I want to provide a quick an update. We'll be asking for approval in the consent items when we get to that point. But we want to make sure everybody's on the same page before we get there. For our maintenance position, so as you know, Rick Gray is retiring, and he'll be done as of the end of December. So starting January 1, that position will be open. So I visited with all of you. Or most of you individually, sent a message via email, but I just want to make sure I answer any questions before we get to the approval portion. But the intention there is to utilize the skills of the people that we currently have to fill that position, and then reevaluate at the end of the year to see if we need to fill that whole position. So we're not looking to drop that position per se, but we'd like to utilize Matt Jorgensen, who currently is on staff and does a lot of the mechanical fixes and things like that. And then we also want to utilize Dania Dare to do some of the book work, calling to get bids, all of that business side of things that way. So utilizing both of those people, increasing some of their responsibilities to take on some of that work, which then we're asking for you guys to approve an increase in salary and pay wage for those two as well, since he'll be taking on more of that work. So for Matt, to finish the year from January through the end of June would be a $5,000 increase. And then for Danny, it'd be a $2 an hour increase, which would be a cost savings for the half year of about $36,000. If we would continue that into all of next year for 25-26, it'd be about a $75,000 cost savings to not refill that position fully and utilize those two and their skill sets to do that. So, like I said, we'd want to reevaluate as we get closer to May and see, keep constant communication with those two to make sure they can keep up and continue doing what they need to do on top of some of the other work. But I think visiting with those two, as we had conversations with them, and April can chime in too if she has something else, but as we had conversations with them, they didn't have any concerns about being able to keep up and do some of those things and do all of those things. So I don't have any worries to do that, and knowing that we have, 6 months to kind of look through and really gauge and see if that's a long-term solution for the district. But I think it'd be hard to not capitalize on some of that cost savings as well to be able to do it. So, any questions for the route we're looking at right now?
Both those are full-time and non-shared positions, correct?
Great question. So currently we share Matt with Southeast Warren. We'll want to fulfill that contract that goes through June. So he goes to Southeast Warren 1 day a week. We would let Southeast Warren know that we would no longer share that position. So into next year, we'd have him 5 days a week. But this year, to finish the year, we would just have him 4 days a week. Great question. Sorry, I forgot that.
Oh, sorry, thank you.
And Southeast Warren works well with him, so if there was a reason, maybe even 2 weeks in a row that he couldn't go, we had stuff going on here, then they would float those days to another time that's more convenient too.
So in that $75,000 cost savings next year, we're planning on not fulfilling an agreement with Southeast Warren this year?
Correct.
Okay.
Are there any other questions, discussions? Okay. And all the other stuff, the calendar,
Yep, I'll go into that
Okay.
next. You're right. I wasn't sure if there's any other questions.
I think everyone's quiet.
So just want to give you a quick update on the district calendar. So the committee met early November, or maybe it was late October, around that time. Started putting together 26, 27 district calendar draft. And I will pull that up so you can kind of see, very similar to what this year looks like. Starting on Monday the 24th, remember we can't start school, we have to start the 23rd or after. So the 24th is a Monday, and starting 2-hour early dismissals. We did that this year, didn't need them because it was nice and cool to start the year. But it is nice to start the school year on some early outs that way, so we kept that. Conferences are all the same. One of the changes that we will have to make for 26, 27, typically that last day of winter break is a teacher in-service day, but that falls on January 1st, that Friday. So we surveyed the staff and gave them the option to put that on the 21st, which would be the first day of winter break. And really that's a flex day. They complete that work day from home. And they're given tasks to complete during that day. Or we could have added it to the beginning or the end of the school year. It was, I think I have the data in there, but I think it was like 59%, 55% that they wanted to put it on the 21st. So we just went with majority and put that there. We also added in 2-hour early dismissals before the holiday breaks. So like tomorrow would be a 2-hour early dismissal because we see a lot of people gone and leaving early those days. So we added those in to try to alleviate some of that, try to maybe get them to school for a little bit. Still includes that 2 week of winter break, full week of spring break. We added in a teacher in-service day in April, with Easter being at the end of March in 2027. That left April with no PD time or break at all. So the committee felt adding in one of those in-service days within April would help get everybody through the end of the year. And that would still put our last day of school on the 21st of May. And then graduation would be on the 16th, so that week before.
So I'm going to preface what I'm going to say. I'm not advocating for this. I'm not advocating for this. Not advocating for this. I want to get that out. But I do want to ask a question, just because it continues to come up every time there's a new article on one of the news stations about another school going to 4-day school days. 4-day weeks? Yeah, there we go, 4-day weeks. Every time there's an article, it seems like there's more and more. I do get inquiries from the general, public on, is that something we're considering? Is that something we're considering? My answer de facto is, as far as I know, no. Go, you need to go talk with Chad if you have any questions or you believe. But I know that continues to get traction and question. Is that something that you guys, this calendar committee discusses every year and, debates, or is that done outside of that? I'm just curious how that.
So we did not talk about a 4-day school week, and you can
Okay.
see in the responses from public responses that we sent out, there was one comment about a 4-day school week, and then we had a comment in the staff considerations about a 4-day school week as well, and you can go in and look at those. But we're not hearing, or I'm not hearing, those comments
Okay.
that you're hearing. If we would hear more of that, we would come to the board and ask guidance on if you want us to pursue that. So that wouldn't be something that the committee would just off to the
Come up
side
from
say,
there and then
okay,
bring
we're
to
gonna
us as
we're gonna
a-
start looking into this
Yeah.
without making sure that the board is aware, because that's a big change.
Yeah.
And I think that we all need to be in alignment if that's something we're gonna look into.
Makes sense. And I'm going to close my comment with, I'm not advocating for it. I'm not advocating for it. Not advocating for it. It's just, I want to, bring it up because it's been asked for me. So, okay.
Any other questions with the school calendar? So next steps for the school calendar, so we'll bring this, we have to bring it for a public comment at an official board meeting. We'll do that in December, and then in January, we'll ask for final approval, so. All right, ISB recap. So just want to take a few minutes to, Monica, Nathan, and I were at the ISB convention on Thursday. And if you guys, I didn't prepare you for this, so sorry to put you on the spot, but if you guys just want to share just a nugget of information that you guys were able to bring back and share with the rest of the board. I don't care who wants to go first.
So I actually had the privilege of going all 3 days. So the board had elected me as a delegate, so I went to the delegate convention, and I'm a member of the Legislative Resolution Committee. So I got to participate on Thursday. Monica joined me with that as well, and from there we just went through the kind of vision and goal of the ISB, and more importantly, equipped their lobbying arm, essentially, of what we feel is valuable, and kind of the actions and activities that we want ISB to lobby the legislator either for or against going forward. So it was a very healthy meeting. I think there was like 300 of us, and we were there for 4 hours and had some good discussions. I will say they tried to revert some of the wording on chronic absenteeism from last year, and there was another debate about that, but that went really well. I think the thing I liked the most was Chad and I attended several things together on Thursday, and it really focused around community engagement and marketing. Those were the sessions I would generalize as what we went to, and got a lot of good information from other schools and how they're doing various things. And I think each one of you got an email from Chad on one of the things we really liked, and I said I think that would be really good. So Chad could talk about that some more if he wants. And then the final day I had the board president's workshop, which was really good. I got to basically have a workshop forum and had engaged in dialogue with other board presidents to talk about various topics, and the large conversation was about AI. They had actually Winterset came in and spoke about their AI policy and what they're doing with AI there. And the cool thing I saw is they're using a lot of the same things that we as a board have approved, Magic School AI, and then talked a lot about the dangers of AI. And one of the things that's really dangerous right now are what they call companion apps, which are you like FaceTime or Snapchat video somebody, and it looks like a real person, but it's actually AI, and students are interacting with this AI, sharing personal information, and these AIs who are not, an AI is not a therapist, it's not a, whatever, are giving bad information, and it's really messing with kids, and it was pretty scary to listen to that. So parents, need to be aware of those companion apps are the latest dangerous thing that's on phones right now. And we need to educate our kids about it and the dangers about it. And that was probably the most eye-opening session that I had went to. So.
As Nathan said, I got to attend the delegate session with him on Wednesday. And that was enlightening, the way that they handle the session and the input that is brought from different schools, and the size of schools really, the size of the school really impacts the way that they look at things. So it was interesting to see the different perspectives and the way that the discussions went throughout the 4-hour session. Additionally, a couple of the sessions I went to was regarding transparency, and that was interesting, the way they actually said there's a lot of stuff that we don't need to tell people. And I found that interesting, that they're telling us that a lot of school boards share too much, which was odd for the way that I was thinking about it. Of course, more school board finance or school finance stuff gives you a foggy brain after you sit through an 1.5-hour session listening to all the different areas, all the different buckets that everything, or silos as they refer to it. And there was the exhibit hall that had a bunch of different vendors in it. It was really, we talked to a couple of the agencies that we work with. And so they actually had a lot of information and gave us some help going forward, and they're ready to come back and help us with things that we have to go back to the drawing board for. So I really enjoyed it, and I look forward to next year.
Yeah, and I would concur with what was already shared. I think the approach on Thursday was unintentionally, it was really systemic. How do you grow systemically as a district through marketing, transparency, communication, right? And that's what a lot that we went through. So one of the things that I had emailed the board today that the district is going to start doing in January, or we would like to start doing in January, is involving community conversations, and what does that look like and sound like and feel like, and how do we get community members in to have those open conversations outside of the boardroom, outside of a board table, and just really open that dialogue. And eliminate a microphone and just make it very low key so that people are open to be able to do that. So that's one of the things that I think will help bridge some of those gaps that may be there, and also answer some questions that maybe people aren't understanding or that we're not sharing very well, right? So I think it was a good conference. I thought it was one of the better ones I've ever been to as far as that goes. I think the main speakers were excellent, and it was fun to hear a ESPN anchor that I've watched growing up, that, you know, on the stage talking about when she worked with the Dream Team and all of that stuff too. So it was I thought it was a very, very good conference. So hopefully more of you can attend next year and get some more out of it. So
I'd just like to add on the what would you call it, the community conversation. So this is meant to be, it's not recorded, there's no microphones, there's no agenda. Only 2 board members can go to it because it's not, you know, otherwise 3 of us, it would end up being a quorum and have to be. But the school who was presented it, their superintendent kind of ran it, and they'd take notes and get those notes to the rest of the board members afterwards, so they knew what conversations were happening. But it was just a way to allow people to come in and have conversations and talk, because a lot of times when people come into open forum, and they speak in that microphone, feels like a very one-way conversation, and that's frustrating to folks because we legally can't really engage back because we get into the whole talking about stuff that isn't on the agenda, right? So this community forum was really meant for us to have that two-way dialogue with community members, and I thought it was a really good idea what they were doing. So.
All right, and then I just have some board policies left. So the ad hoc committees, this was on the previous, this is the regulation portion. This was on the previous agenda. We brought it back. And ultimately, and correct me if I'm wrong, April, but so the committees that we've approved previously, we can add those directly into the regulation if the board is comfortable doing that. So the committees that you guys approved earlier, those get added into that regulation. But they weren't approved, so I didn't add them into the regulation for now. So we'll bring it back. Dan, you're giving me a look like you don't know. So we'll bring it back in December for second reading for you guys to approve. Are you guys comfortable with that? Okay.
Yep.
And then the draft of the disposition of obsolete equipment. So what I'm asking for is to increase the value where it says less than $5,000 value. So this means if we want to sell anything, we have to bring this, and we believe it's valued more than $5,000. We have to bring that to you guys to approve before we can sell it. What I'm asking is for you guys to approve that or increase that to $10,000. So this came about because we're looking at selling the old baseball, softball scoreboards. And so although those may not value, we don't believe they value more than $5,000, ultimately we went to the policy to see where it had to be posted, and it was still supposed to be published in the newspaper. We publish things on GovDeals, and so we needed to change that, and then as we looked at it, it made us realize we need to increase that so that we don't have to keep coming to you guys to approve things that we're no longer using, but we may be able to get some money out of it. And all of those proceeds get placed into the general fund if we sell anything. So I'm just asking to increase that by $5,000 and make it $10,000, and then we post things on GovDeals instead of the newspaper. So again, this is just a first reading, but just want to give you some background on it. Any other questions?
Is there still transparency on what you sell?
Yeah, so when we sell anything, we'll post it onto like our social media and that type of thing, so anybody can go on and do it. We can't post something on GovDeals and only share it to staff members or only share it to certain members that way. Once it's posted, we have to publish it, which is why the policy is in place, so that everybody has an opportunity to purchase that item.
Thank you.
You bet.
Okay, thank you, Chad. We will go to discuss or approve the consent items. It covers the early retirement incentive application, Laura Haynes for the certified early retirement incentive, resignations and contracts. So Tim McKinney hired as elementary counselor for the second semester of the 25-26 school year. Haley Douglas hired as assistant middle school girls track coach for the 25-26 season. Jennifer Field Offield hired as the middle school winter cheer coach for the 25-26 season. The resignations, we have Deborah Nicole Wilson resigning as the elementary library associate effective January 2nd, 2026. Laura Haynes is retiring as high school art teacher effective after the 25-26 school year. Chad Grandin resigns as superintendent effective June 30th, 2026. And Karen Smith resigns as an associate effective November 21st, 2025, but is requesting to remain as a substitute associate. Modifications to have Matt Jorgensen add maintenance director duties. Dana Dare also add maintenance director duties. And then open enrollment. Do I read these?
You don't have to read them out. It's presented in your packet.
All right, then open enrollment as presented in the packet. So I would open if there's any discussions on these.
Early retirement. Do you expect any more to come in the next month?
The deadline is December 19th. So the last day before Christmas break and winter break happen.
Okay, so we'll have those on the next meeting?
We won't have them in time
Okay.
if they wait till that deadline, but we'll know for budgeting purposes. And so if they come in on the 19th, on the last day, it'll be the January meeting that they'll all be on there.
Okay.
And that was not to exceed what we had already approved for the early retirement. So I would like to make a motion to approve the consent items as is.
All right, a motion has been made to approve the consent items as presented. Is there a second?
Just seeing as though I had no more discussions before Dan just made a motion, I will second that.
It has been properly moved and seconded. All those in favor signify by aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay. Keep mine on, don't I? All right, now we have action agenda. The SBRC application request to open enrollment out. Districts may request modified supplemental amounts, like spending authority or on-time funding awarded the current year if the current year's open enrollment out was not on prior year's head count. Approve the SBRC application request for an open enrollment out MSA of $139,124. And then approval of the 25-26 special education delivery plan. The district,
Each one of these will have its own action.
oh, I did skip, my bad, I'm sorry. Erase, we're going back just to the SBRC.
So a little history on that for the FY '23, it was 151,000. In FY '24, it was 194,000. So this is kind of, it's less, but it's meaning that there's less that weren't on the previous enrollment.
Is there any other discussion?
I would just say the Finance 201 class I went to was heavily on like spending authority versus cash on hand. This stuff gave me an absolute headache, but one thing I did learn is it's very hard to go up and you can very quickly go down, and they pretty much said we recommend anytime your admin team requests the spending authority, approve it. That was the gist of what I got. It's not actually spending more money, but I don't want to get into the headaches of how I know that, because I quite honestly couldn't explain it back, but it's important.
I believe it's just like increasing your line of credit, basically.
That is, as I understood it, yeah. It's not exactly, but it's the best representation. So anyway, yeah.
Any other discussion? If not, I would open for approval. A motion for approval.
I'll make a motion to approve the SBRC application request as presented.
It's been properly motioned. Do I have a second?
I'll second that.
Properly motioned and seconded. All those in favor signify by aye.
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 Opposed? Okay. Now we're going to go on to number 2, approval of the 25-26 special education delivery plan. The district special education delivery plan identifies the delivery system used when identifying students with special needs in accordance with Administrative Code Rule 41.4082C. Posted for public comment on 11/3, there were none. Approve the 25-26 district special education delivery plan as presented is the request. So, is there any discussion?
I would just say that Ms. Good worked really, really hard on this. She came and presented at the SIAC committee, and they just did an incredible job, answered our questions and stuff, and they feels like she's in a pretty good spot with it. They're trying some different things to balance out the workloads of her staff, and I continue to say she continues to need support with associates, though I think she said she's sitting in a pretty good spot, but did acknowledge when I asked her it's hard for, we're not very competitive when it comes to pay on the associates, so just note something for the board. But Ms. Good and her team are doing a phenomenal job with this. I was grateful for them presenting it to us.
Any other discussion? If not, I would entertain a motion.
I'll make a motion to approve the 25-26 district special education delivery plan as presented.
It's been properly motioned. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
It's been properly motioned and seconded. All those in favor signify by aye.
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 Opposed? Okay. We move on to the approval of amount not to exceed $170,000 for the purchase of small vehicles, updating the district's small vehicle fleet, the vans and Suburbans. Is there discussion?
So I had a conversation with Bobby Finley about this. The only thing, and I'm not saying I won't vote for my approval out of 5, but I would like to see, I'm okay with it, I get how fast these things come and go. I did have to learn that as a school district, we can't go buy a brand new 12-passenger bus. The most ridiculous thing I've ever heard. I hope that all the congressmen and senators and everybody makes all these stupid laws see this. But yeah, ridiculous. Anyway, I just hope that maybe we can get creative with someone. I know there's business owners in this community that own buses that aren't very old, or not buses, but vans that aren't very old, that could probably help us get a little bit better deal possibly. And I would like to see us maybe go down some of those avenues before we just go buy something. Thank you.
Yeah, so asking for it this way is exactly right, so that they pop so quickly and are gone, and they're gone in 1 or 2 days, because we have to get them off auction or that type of thing. And so going about it this way, Bobby and Transportation Department have decided we're going to pause on buying a bus. Our small vehicle fleet, if you read the information that's attached there, we got one van that's got 340,000 miles on it, another one's got 290,000 miles on it, and the third one has 235,000 miles on it. So the need for these vehicles is high, but we were going to just try to attack one. And that's what we had budgeted for this year, was just to do one. And the more we talked about it and really broke down really the need, ultimately it came down to we need to buy as many as we can. So allowing us to be able to say, okay, we have $170,000, and whenever those pop, we can look and we will bring comparable quotes, because we have to, right? So we'll still bring that stuff to you guys and show you guys, but just know that we're probably going to act on the cheaper one or the best buy before that may even come to you. So we're asking for trust in doing that. But yeah, I agree, Dan. We'll look down all of those avenues, and yes, it's crazy. We can't buy a brand new 12-passenger van, but now it sounds like they are changing the law that we could buy a brand new 15-passenger van, but not a 12-passenger van. So make it make sense, Dan. But yes, so this will allow us to do that quickly and jump on things when they're there.
And, do you have discussion?
Yeah, to Dan's point, when we approve this, is it possible you can post it to our community on Facebook or something, be like, hey, we need a van, and the peeps out there in the community got one? Can you buy directly from, or do you have to do this auction?
We can buy from anybody.
So, yeah, that's what I would just recommend to address.
But I think I would caution to just say out, hey, if you got a van, send it my way, So I think the better way would be to, if you have a contact or you know someone, to let Bobby know. She'll be the one leading it, Bobby or Dania, let them know directly, or just email it to me and I can let them know. So that way we aren't flooded with a whole bunch, and then it gets into, well, why didn't you buy mine? Why didn't you buy, you know what I mean? I don't want to get into that either. So if you have a contact or someone, then yeah, please send it our way, and we'd be happy to look into the options.
Okay, so it sounds like you're not tied to doing it off this auction site you're looking at. So if community members have a great deal to support their school district, they can reach out.
And if
Let
they
you
want to
know.
donate
Okay.
it, we'll take that too.
Okay, all right. So I have no further discussions, Madam President.
All right, with no further discussion, I would open up for a motion.
Go ahead, Tom.
I motion to approve of the amount not to exceed $170,000 for the purchase of small vehicles, updating the district's small vehicle fleet. Approve the amount not to exceed $170,000 for the purchase of small vehicles.
It has been properly approved, motion to approve. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
It has been properly motioned to approve and seconded. All those in favor signify by aye. Aye. Opposed? All right, let's move on. Approval for Hogland Bus Company invoice. So Hogland Bus Company, North Central International invoice for repairs to bus number 9 in the amount of $10,577.39. Do we have a discussion?
Work's already been done, correct, Chad?
Correct.
Okay, I motion to approve this item.
Has been properly motioned to approve. Do I have a second?
I second.
It's been properly motioned to approved and seconded. All those in favor signified by aye.
Aye.
Opposed? All right, that one was easy. Number 5, approval of Interstate Power Systems estimate. Interstate Power Systems invoice for repairs to bus number 1 in the amount of $6,949.08. Do we have a discussion?
I'm gonna go ahead and say I approve it. I read it. I understand it. I motion we approve.
I have a motion to approve. Do I have a second?
Seeing as though there's no time for discussion, but I had no discussion, I will go ahead and second that.
It has been properly motioned to approve and seconded. All those in favor signified by aye. Aye. Opposed? All right. No? So 6 is just the approval of an overnight field trip for the music department. It looks like they would like to go to the... Okay. Chad, you want to talk about this field trip to
I would love
Morningside?
to. Mr. Kittrell would love to be here, but he's supporting his fiance who has her first concert tonight. So he's wanting to take 4 students to the Morningside Vocal Arts Festival in January in Sioux City, which is his alma mater. So he's just asking approval for an overnight trip. It's within the state. I could approve that, but I think it's important that the board has knowledge of that and kids going overnight. So we're just asking for approval that they can go and get that experience. I did ask Mr. Kittrell to come back in January during the board meeting and share not only about this, but also kind of some of the other things that he's got going on with the music department as well. So we'll get an update, and he said he can come that night to share. So he's just asking for approval for the trip.
I read on this. It looks amazing. I motion we approve.
It has been properly motioned to approve. Do I have a second?
I'll second the motion.
It's been properly motioned to approve and seconded, and all those in favor signified by aye.
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 Opposed? All right. And, oh goodness, that was long. 7, here we go. This is for the approval of Gundenmeyer Leader Search LLC to lead the superintendent search. They would lead it at a maximum cost of $11,250. I would open this up for discussion.
So I would just say, as the previous president, I was having emails with Grundermeyer on this, so I'll just give a heads up. So they have the maximum amount up to 11,250, but the main reason why is depending on how much we decide we want them traveling down here, so that's why it's the maximum amount. So other than that, I would recommend the board approve this, what we used last time. I think they did a good job. So that's my discussion.
Well, I actually have another thought process on that, and it's wonderful that there's 5 of us. I actually want to have a workshop with the board before the next meeting and discuss a few other options. I have a few questions, and I'm sure, like, once I ask the questions, I don't want to get into a workshop here. The other board members would probably like to have them elaborated on and answers for them. So I would like to table this until we can have a workshop and then approve it at the next meeting, only because I don't think it's going to take too much time from us. The next meeting's pretty quickly. It's not like it's the end of December or anything. We would just have to get together and do a workshop.
Yeah, I would not recommend that, given the timeframes we're under and the fact that there's limited superintendents across the state of Iowa. I do agree we need to have a workshop. I think we will have a workshop either way. But I would recommend the board at least approve this. If for whatever reason during a workshop we decide to go another way, we can, but we need to get this job posted now so we can start getting candidates in now. Otherwise, we'll end up in the same situation we did last time with the short candidate pool. I think Chad did us a solid giving us at least enough runway here, and I don't think we should lose that runway. So I would recommend that we move forward with this, but I do agree with Director Hutton that we are going to have workshops regardless, and we can decide from there if we want to do something differently.
I'm also in agreement of not tabling this. I know that just by talking with Gunfire last week, they do have quite a few already posted, and I would like to get ours posted so that we have a good candidate pool.
Any more discussion?
It's your decision completely. You could approve it pending the outcome of a work session. So if you wanted to schedule a work session early next week, you could approve the contract tonight. So that way, pending the outcome of that, you could then move forward with it. Just another option. I'm just sharing the other opportunity.
Yeah, but if you do that, I would assume we wouldn't go with Grundemeyer tomorrow and get it posted. Correct. Yeah, and that would be my concern. I think it needs to get posted like tomorrow.
However, I could clarify with Grundemeyer that if there is a different decision made at a workshop, that he would only charge us for services rendered. Yeah. So it's still an option. If you want to do pending final approval at the workshop, and then whatever's owed to Grundemeyer for any work that they may do. I know that during any holiday breaks is a really good time to have that information out there, because that's when superintendents aren't busy in the schools that they're working. They're home and looking at other opportunities, if that's the direction that they're going.
Is discussion over?
Any more discussion? If not, I would open the floor for a motion.
I will make a motion to approve the Grundemeyer Leadership Search LLC as presented.
A motion has been made. Do I have a second?
I'll second the motion.
The motion has been made and seconded. All those in favor signified by aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
Opposed.
Motion passes. then.
Oh, what was yours?
Oh, I said aye.
Okay, sorry.
Sorry. Okay, so motion passes. All right. Upcoming date, the next board meeting will be, we're moving it up from December 22nd because obviously that falls over the Christmas break. So it'll be December 15th, 2025 at 6 p.m. If there's nothing else, I would open the floor for a motion to adjourn.
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
It's been properly motioned. Do I have a second?
Second.
Properly motioned and seconded. All those in favor signified by aye.
Aye.
All right. We're adjourned. Thank you.